back with MrTaxes.ca with special guests and our special co-host. Make sure and tune in weekly Wednesday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Central. Remember to subscribe and remember to smash, bash, and kick it in the you-know-what with that like button if you want more videos like this.
We're live. Just waiting for Rob. There he is. The mute button strikes again.
Ask and thou shalt receive. Yeah, the infamous mute button. So here we are, Jess. What week?
Well, according to the top left corner, we're on week 39.
Yeah, so if there's a skill testing question each week, what week we're on, you can just take a sneak peek. And we have a slide, a couple slides in also indicating which week. We love keeping track because this means that there were 39 hours of our weekly webinars for tips, tricks, hacks, etc. for the affiliate marketing industry. And if you're looking to save any money on tax, we drop nuggets throughout the webinars. So go back to the YouTube channel and watch these. If you're already on the YouTube channel, thanks for subscribing, liking, and commenting. If you're not, you know what to do. You know, the button's somewhere around the video here. If you're watching live, make sure and get your questions in. So week 39, Jesse's going to have, of course, his weekly affiliate hack. We'll have our tax hack for the week. But without further ado, I guess we'll get rolling.
Lots of big stuff on the go today. We are going to
let Jesse talk about the agenda.
Yeah, we're going to run through what you're going to learn, obviously, quick intros. If you've tuned in the past, obviously you've heard a little bits and pieces of both Rob and my story. But we like to do some intros for anyone who's new. We like to keep it light and happy, tips, jokes, motivation, affiliate hacks, tax hacks, things like that. And then, you know, just executing on what you learn. And at the end, we always have a Q&A. Sometimes, you know, some people bring some really good questions, and sometimes there's crickets. So that means that we've done our job.
Excellent. So as Jesse said in the outset there, week 39. So again, 39 webinars in the can, edited videos. You know, if you have questions on the webinars, our information, our contact info for the main office is always at the end of the slides. You can fast forward to the end. If you're watching on YouTube, our contact info is in the links below. There's always a way to get a hold of us. And especially if you're in provinces east of BC, where, you know, our biggest following is, that's where we started. But if you're Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Ontario, or even east of there, reach out to Jesse. He's more fluent on, you know, the tax regulations, the insurance strategies for those provinces. By all means, reach out to Jesse. You want to take a crack at it, Jess?
All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about Rob. So trademark backdated to 1984. Mr. Taxes was a nickname that was provided by a friend in high school when you started doing some tax services for, you know, just kind of garage-based business.
That was a high school cafeteria business. I think I met the guys after school or on the weekend to get their slips. And then I was filling out paper forms, and my mother, grandfather would, you know, look them over. Pretty much they were double checking things for me, but that's where I got my start.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot worse things you could be doing in high school than helping people with taxes, I guess.
Well, trust me, we found time for that in between. Yeah.
Dragon's Den deal happened with Jim Treliving, the founder of Boston Pizza, in 2012 for MrTaxes.ca. They ended up going on and opening 42 offices with over 350 staff. Launched MrInsurance.ca and MrInvestments.ca in 2018, which is kind of just taking everything full cycle and just putting all of the different financial components together, which I really like. That's why I like working with Rob and the team, because it's one-stop shop. 2021, they partnered up with Finastra to do a lot of NOA services with mortgage brokers and things like that, helping get documents for people who are applying for mortgages. And, you know, there's a whole story that comes with that afterwards, but we've got it all ironed out and everything's good to go. Back in business with the NOA services, probably better than ever before, I would say. And you know, there's always franchising opportunities. Mr. Taxes, you come to us for, one thing and we'll help you pretty much with everything.
Yeah, again, everything but the dishes.
Yeah.
Similar to what Jesse does. Thanks, Jesse, for that elaborated intro. A lot have heard it before. Some of the things people haven't heard is that I played junior baseball, hockey, football, and box for 15 years. But I think, you know, the discipline you get from performing in sports, because if you don't do your homework in boxing, meaning you don't go to the gym, you don't train, you don't study, you pay the price. The same thing in business. And we've seen it time and time again with businesses that fail. It's just people aren't willing to put in the work. You know, you don't get a win every time. Look at Major League Baseball. I was looking at the records here going into the playoffs, and the Blue Jays are 90-60. You know, their winning percentage, I think the highest one in baseball is only .630, which means 370% of the time, or 37.5% of the time, they fail. But they're making some pretty good money. Enough about that. Jesse Garnier, been in the online marketing industry, jumped full-time, I think, in 2016, right, Jess?
Yeah, it was within 3 months. I think 2.5 months after I started my first business is when I went full-time. Yeah,
a lot of people tiptoe, you know, dabble in a side hustle to save tax. It's one of the best tax-saving strategies. But if you are going to jump into a side hustle, affiliate marketing program, network marketing company, go out and launch your own business, do that not without hesitancy, but keep that safety net behind you. They say, well, you shouldn't have a safety net. You know, ships go out to sea for one reason. You know, they don't usually come back to the same port. They sail to another port. You know, keep that safety net, especially if you have your family. It doesn't mean you have to focus on your job, but while you're building your side hustle, and that's one of the things that Jesse helps do. You need help financially with, and I don't mean financing, I mean keeping track of your accounting records, which is what we do, but there's other aspects to your company that Jesse helps with, and that's marketing, sales, you know, building those funnels, tracking systems, CRMs, etc. That's one of Jesse's specialties, and that's how we ended up working together. You know, Jesse came on for some tax help, and I told him about our story, what we're trying to do, and Jesse says, oh, you know, that's what I do on the side. You know, that's my main hustle. So that's why we're working together. And I know you were number one with 3 network marketing companies, affiliate marketing companies / network marketing. Can you elaborate on, just give us a little background on one and what you did, how you got there to number one?
Yeah, so 3 different companies. One was the actual education platform that we were selling to help people get started in the online world, build their online business, very beginner level training. I was able to reach number 1 in sales for that, which was really cool. And not to brag or anything, but I had over twice as many sales as the number 2 person. So not like number 1 by a little bit, but number 1 like by a lot.
Well, that's okay when they start giving out gold medals for second place, and that person might have had a chance.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the first one, and then the second one was a network marketing company, health and wellness products. It was a high ticket item, and I ended up. They categorized, so there was like a ranking system. I was one of the higher ranks. There was people in higher ranks category, but in the rank that I was at, I ended up hitting number 1 in sales for a global competition that they're putting on. That one was a battle. It was actually me and one of my mentors that were battling back and forth for first place. And the last week of the contest, it was just like checking the scoreboard and seeing who's on top and just trying to get one more sale all the time. I ended up coming out just squeaked by at the very end, which was really cool. So that was that. And the third one was a life insurance. When I started getting into life insurance, I actually hit number 1. Not globally for sales overall, but just, again, kind of like contest style things. They would always host contests to keep people motivated and stuff. One, I broke the rookie of the week all-time record, which was really cool. So they would always track people's first week of doing business, and I ended up breaking that record. And I don't know if I still hold it. It's been probably 2 years since I've even looked. Somebody's probably broke it since then. But So there was that, and then a couple of times actually I don't know if you can see them, but the 3 pieces of paper up on the top, those are also just weekly top sales awards and stuff like that.
Well, not to toot your own horn, but you've been there, you've done it. I know you do it with sales funnels. That's one of your specialties. So if anybody's looking to do anything like that, reach out to Jesse, especially if you're in the Eastern provinces. He's a guru in Alberta.
Yeah, I think if I could offer one reason to why I think this is a thing that I've done multiple times, I just look at, user experience, and I look at how do I make this process simpler? How do I simplify it? And I just remove myself from different components or different stages of the game and just automate as much as I can. And then, that way you can scale up and spend your time on the things that truly matter instead of the things that don't really matter as much.
Yeah, I think Alicia should be putting joke/fact of the day. Buying life insurance is like fixing a leaky roof. The longer you wait, the more expensive it gets. You don't want to wait too long and pay too much for insurance, do you? I don't think so. Again, reach out to Jesse or our contact link in the slides at the end of the webinar here, but you can reach us pretty easy. Ask mrtaxes.ca, book a meeting and get a no obligation quote, because one of the rules on the base value premium of a policy is 6 months before, 6 months after your birthday. That's the age that they use. Once you reach 6 months after your birthday, the price jumps. It does not get cheaper. It's like your age doesn't get smaller.
Yeah, that's one common thing that I always came across when I was meeting with families and doing life insurance appointments, is people would always be like, man, this sounds like really good. Problem is, I wish I was younger. I wish I was younger when I had this conversation. I'm like, well, you're not ever going to be younger than you are today, so you might as well get started now.
Yeah, get started today. Let's get a quote going for you if you're listening and you're looking for a quote on life insurance. Again, we put together a 5-part series on the benefits of life insurance while you're still alive. Those videos are almost complete, so we'll have a link. We'll go back and add that link to probably the previous bunch of webinars. So come back. If you're looking for it and you're on our mail list, you'll definitely get a link to watch those. So our affiliate program, we'll just go over this one quick, and then we'll get to everybody's favorite part of the week. I think the favorite part of the week, I don't think people tune into this every week for the tax tips. They may fast forward to those, but I know there's a lot of affiliates that tune in, so they're looking forward to the affiliate hack this week. But before we get to that, we want to explain our own affiliate program and how it works.
Yeah, so what's in it for clients, what's in it for affiliates, and what's in it for us, Dollar Tax Club? So starting with what's in it for clients. There's the obvious one, which is, we're going to help them get set up financially, get them, get everything squared away, go through their taxes and go through their CRA account and all their documents, and just, number one, get everything cleared up and take the weight or the burden off of their shoulders. I know for me, when I don't know what's going on with my, the CRA and me and just income tax, I feel like there's this weight, even though 99% of the time everything's fine. It's just, I don't know. We don't know what we don't know, so we stress about it, right? And so one thing is just getting that clarity, have some people that know what they're doing, go through everything, make sure everything's good. The other one is, as they're going through everything, they're looking for any potential refunds that maybe you're entitled to or that the client's entitled to. And what they're doing is they're gathering a list of things that they could potentially go back and claw back some of these taxes that were possibly overpaid over the last 10 years or 12 years. I think you can go back, right?
Mm-hmm. 12. We go back 12.
Yeah. So
CRA,
12.
and I believe once the clock strikes midnight this year, we'll be able to go back 13 instead of adding, reprogramming. I know there's a lot of issues with CRA, with security, et cetera. They have the system set up to go back now to 2010. So when the clock strikes midnight this year, I believe we'll be able to still go back to 2010, but it will add one more year. So essentially next year, we'll be able to go back 13 and then following year, 14 years. But you can only go back 10 years anyway. CRA can only come after you for the past 10 years for any tax evasion, et cetera.
Gotcha.
tax avoidance, tax evasion, they can go back indefinitely. But any, any strategies you're using, the change, et cetera, they can only go back 10 years. So that's why we like going back 12, just do that extra year to make sure everything's in order.
Yeah, makes sense. So yeah, looking for any refunds and possibly getting some money put back into the client's pocket, as well as not only all of those things, but discount on services. So, if they use Mr. Taxes for accounting or bookkeeping, then they get a discount on services. That is, we're getting close to the time where it's going to be heavily talked about, is the discount and how that works. So in January, earlier in the year that you get started, the bigger discount you're going to get. So January, it's 40% discount. And then as soon as February hits, that drops to a 30% discount. And then March is 20%, April's 10%. And then after that, I mean, you're paying full price.
You missed out. You missed out.
Yeah. If you're not, looking at getting your taxes handled before April, I mean, that's on you.
Yeah, don't wait till the last minute. So on the affiliate side, Jess, what we're offering affiliates, and for those affiliates that are watching, we call this a side hustle for your side hustle. We don't want this to be your main funnel. You're not going to set up ClickFunnels or Kartra or some of the other ones. What is it? One Click.
There's tons of them out there. Drop Funnels.
Yeah, I was trying to think of that one. Give them a shout out. But if you're in the affiliate marketing industry, this is something that you can just add on, right? Drop the link in all your postings, all of your YouTube videos. We're able to get on too as a guest to help draw some traffic to your channel, to help drive people through your funnel. Affiliates understand this. Those that are not in the affiliate marketing industry will make the analogy using a movie. When was the last time you went out to see a great movie? You told a couple of friends about it. They went out to see it at Cineplex or Landmark, or Mark Cuban, who owns Landmark. Did he send you a gift card or call you to thank you? No, he didn't. This is a built-in system. This is where the software comes in to track these referrals. So when you do refer somebody through social media, through an email, on a business card with a QR code to track your link, you get paid for it. It's automated. One of the other things we do that I know a lot of affiliate marketers don't do is we create social media content for you. There's tax tips, insurance tips, mortgage strategies, investment strategies. We have all the tips and tricks documented. We put those into, not we, our marketing team, Alicia and Matthew, put those into some nice looking ads with your branding, your marketing colors, logos, contact info, custom linked QR code. That's something that you don't have to do. So if you're a mortgage broker, if you're in the insurance industry looking for tax leads, reach out to us. We can talk about putting that custom program together for you. And the best part about it is not the discounted services that you see on the bottom here. What's the best part, Jess? The price.
The best part is that this whole thing costs you $0.
Zero. Yeah, some people can't believe it. But, we looked at the first slides there talking about the affiliate program. What's in it for us? We do that, of course, because we're looking for business, right? There's going to be no love lost here where we'll let the cat out of the bag. We're all in this for business, but we do love what we do. We love saving people tax. We help set people up with the proper insurance structures, make sure their families are protected. We really enjoy doing that for others because we've discovered the benefits of doing it for ourselves. And the only way we can do that is by servicing more clients. Everybody has to make a living. Everybody has to eat. But if everybody works, everybody eats. That's the way we look at it. Mm-hmm. We'll leave the last one for you, Jess. What's in it for us?
Well, I mean, Rob, you kind of let the cat out of the bag. We're looking for clients. We're looking to grow. We're looking to help more and more people minimize their taxes and maximize their wealth. The nice thing is that we've found a way to do that through a win-win-win scenario where we win, clients win, affiliates win. There is no loser here. You think about sports. In order for there to be a winner, there has to be a loser, right? This is not the case here. We've created a win-win-win situation where everyone walks away happy. And that's
so financial planning is not a sport. You heard it here first, folks, on the Dollar Tax Club weekly webinar.
That's, I think, what I like about it, and that's why I'm, happy to show up to these webinars every week, show my face and give insight, because it's if it was shady, I just wouldn't show up. You know, if it was a win-lose situation, I wouldn't be here. But because it's a win-win-win all the way around, I mean, let's go.
Let's go. Here it is. I won't do another drum roll. Won't bust people's eardrums, but affiliate hack for the week. This is where our affiliates tune in to get the inside scoop from Jesse, what's going on in the industry, some little secret, some little tip, something that they can walk away with to bring them value. And we'll have our tax strategy coming up after Jesse shares it with us.
Yeah, so affiliate hack, I did have something else I was going to mention, but it kind of just came up naturally on the win-win-win situation that we were talking about.
I like that about Jesse. You can pivot.
Yeah. So in business, in marketing, in sales, in, you know, whatever industry you're in, I think one of the main components, if you can just, if you want to put your head on your pillow at the end of the night every day and just be happy with what you accomplished that day, just go into every situation, into every conversation or interaction that you have. How do I create a win-win scenario between me and whoever I'm talking to? Whether that's a lead, whether that's a business partner, whether that's a, you know, a partnership company, an affiliate company that you're looking into. Is this a win-win situation? Just ask yourself that. And if the answer is no, or if it's a little bit shady, or if it's a little bit unclear on whether it's a win-win situation or not, maybe it's something to reconsider or try to dig a little deeper to see if there's something going on that's maybe not accurate or not good. You know, that's one big thing in the affiliate marketing space that I see as a big problem, is too many people out there just trying to take everybody's money. They're just, you know, they're over promising and under delivering in the industry. And, you know, I see all sorts of social media posts and ads from marketers and stuff that are saying stuff like, join my program and we'll show you how to make $25,000 in your first, you know, 90 days or whatever. How can they put a guarantee on something like that? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Even though they may have a blueprint or a structure that is maybe pretty good, they're missing one really important variable, and that variable is the individual that they're plugging into it. So you can't, I would never put a guarantee like that on something, knowing that there's, you know, individuals that I need to rely on to hit that target 100% of the time. So that would be my biggest suggestion, is look into things, create win-win situations between you, your clients, your partnerships, whoever you interact with. And if you just kind of live by that rule, you'll be able to put your head on the pillow every day and sleep like a baby.
I saw an interview with Simon Sinek, you know, the who, why, and how guy. Simon Sinek, I think he's the second most watched video on TED Talks, but he was talking about his failed relationships in the past. And he said the only common denominator with every relationship that failed with him in the past was, take a guess, Simon Sinek. Yeah, so people that join one affiliate company, then the next one, then the next one, hoping for success. If you're failing with each one, you know, take a look at the program you're getting involved with as well. If it's successful and there's successful people in there, then you know it is possible. But if you're failing, it's because you're not doing something right. You're not following the recipe. You're being a loose cannon, whatever the term is, trying to do things different on your own. You know, give something an honest shot. You know, if you're going to go into the affiliate marketing industry, if it's an industry that you love, for example, helping other people, coaching might be your thing, offering a service. It might be, you know, weight loss, it might be supplements or health foods or whatever that program is you're getting involved with. You know, you have to like it first, but follow the program. You know, if it works for you, a lot of people get involved because it works for them. So they buy into it. You know, the same with us on the tax side. You know, if you're going to be joining us as an affiliate, why not try us out first? Give our 10-year tax review a shot, you know, with those 2 bonus years. But wait, there's more. You know, like we had a couple of videos like that we put out, but we can actually go back 12 years. You know, the 2 extra years, if it's worthwhile, we'll do it. But there's extra application process with Canada Revenue if we find something from 2010. But whatever you're going to do, give it a shot. Try it out first. Take a test drive. before you jump in head first, make sure you enjoy the program. And like you said, Jesse, get involved, with the right people, the right attitude, the right mentality, and it will work. If you're looking at the financial structure of a program to get involved with, reach out to us. That's what we do. If you're looking at the network marketing component of it and how their marketing works, talk to Jesse. Jesse, we work together as a team here at the Dollar Tax Club, but there's two valuable resources you have. Just set up a meeting, talk to us. Jesse's happy to talk to people. Just book it on his calendar. And if Matthew's, editing here right now, make sure and get our booking links in the calendar so people can reach out to Jess. And go back, Matt, and get those in the previous webinars. So our booking link is in there. It's a booking. It's a round robin. If you book and you get Jesse and you want to talk to me, then just mention it to Jesse, vice versa. If you get one of our associates and there's something that we mentioned, or you gravitate towards Jesse because he's in Alberta, because he's male, because he's, he knows the marketing side better, for whatever reason, don't be afraid to ask. If you don't ask, you sleep alone. I heard that from someone. I think they're on the webinar here today. So there's a program. You can go to mrtaxes.ca or dollartaxclub.ca/affiliates. The link is also on the homepage of the tax site. So if you're interested in our affiliate program, by all means, reach out. And this tax tip: how many ways to file a tax return? Well, they may be phasing out paper tax returns. This was in 2021. We had this tip. They still have not phased them out. I knew when Canada Revenue released this bulletin, they said, well, next year, 2021, we're going to be phasing out paper tax returns. Well, 50% of the country still files a paper tax return. And we're 2 tax seasons later. So there's no way they can phase them out because people wouldn't be able to file. It might be a constitutional thing or a right. But think of seniors. Jesse and I aren't too far apart in age, but think of our parents. Think of your parents if you're listening, if they're born in the 60s or earlier. A lot of them don't even know how to use a computer. How can they file online? They'll make a mess of their tax return. They've been doing paper returns for 40 years. How do you expect them to change to electronic? So one of the tips we have for this week is, reach out to a tax professional. You'd be surprised of the opportunity cost of filing your own tax return. Do you fix your own car? Do you fix the leak in your roof? Do you fix a leaky pipe in your basement? I'm not talking about changing taps. I'm talking about, shutting off the water, cutting the pipes, soldering them, replacing them. You don't do that stuff. Reach out to a professional. So there's very few ways to actually file a tax return. There's paper return, there's net file, there's e-file. E-file is if you go to a third-party professional. Net file, you can file yourself online. There's telefile for hearing impaired, so they're able to file through teletype. And, pretty much that's it. But 50% of the country files their own tax return, 50% use a third party. And there's an estimated 100,000 plus registered e-filers. We prefer you use us, reach out to us. We're one of the few that offer that 12-year tax review. So that's it for our tax tip for the week. Use a professional. Just like if you're going to set up your own marketing system or your own funnel.
Yeah. Just having a professional go through it that knows what they're looking for could easily get you a bigger return than the cost of getting them to do it. So
I remember he was a client. He went to work with someone else, unfortunately, but he was a mechanic in Surrey, and I used to bring my trucks to him before I got into the financial industry, and brought a car into him a couple of years ago, and I pulled it in, and I said, we'll just call him John Doe. I said, John, there's a little noise in the engine, when it's idling, sitting at a stop sign or parked in the driveway. And he said, yeah, pull it in. He lifted the hood, and he pulled the pen out of his pocket and took the ink part out, and he put the cylinder for the pen down on the manifold, and he kept moving it along back and forth for about a minute, listened to each cylinder, each valve, and he said, yeah, it's cylinder number 3, the valves aren't closing properly. He didn't have to hook it up to a manifold, like a electronic testing device. He didn't have to pull the top off the engine. That's experience. You go to somebody who can identify the problem, let you know exactly what the problem is, and then get the problem fixed. Simple. Same with marketing, same with getting your roof fixed, same with going to a restaurant.
Yeah,
that's ours.
I heard a similar story one time about I think the example was a guy changing a water tank or something in a house, and he walks in, he diagnoses the problem within 5 minutes, and then finishes the job within half hour. I can't remember the example they used, but it was something like, the story went kind of what you were just talking about. And then he sends them a bill for $2,000, and the homeowner's like, hold on, you were only here for like a half hour. How can the bill be $2,000? And he's, well, the time, the charge for the time is only $100, but it's the previous experience and the knowledge that I've had to invest into figuring this out, that's where the cost comes from.
Yeah, the 20 years experience.
Yeah.
Whereas you rip out your own water tank, you could have a flood.
Exactly.
And then you're explaining to the insurance company how somebody broke into your house and tried to steal your water tank and flooded the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So upcoming events, mrtaxes.ca/events. That's where you catch all our other webinars, other things that we're doing. And here we are, the favorite and quietest part of the webinars, because you do such an impeccable job, Jesse, that nobody does have any questions, but feel free to reach out. Who, if you can put in the comments, who's going to win the Blue Jays series? I believe they're playing Seattle Mariners in the first round, the wild card round.
I'd be lying if I said I had any idea what was happening with that right now.
I believe the Blue Jays have some momentum. We were at the stadium. We were fortunate enough to have a hotel room that was overlooking the field. We got to watch the 3 Yankee games and a Red Sox game. So the first game, they beat the Yankees, the #1 team.
Trying to get someone's attention over there?
Yeah, trying to get someone's attention. I'll let you carry it on, then I'll carry on with that story.
Okay. I had a thought come up. I'm going to switch gears a little bit here for a second, but I had a thought come up as Rob was talking there. When he was talking about going into the Q&A, and we must have done a good job if there's no questions. There's a sales tip that I can provide there. #1 sales tip that I have for people is handle objections before they're even an objection. One of the best ways to get to the end of a sales call is to get to a point where you're like, hey, do you have any questions? Does that all make sense? Are you ready to go? And they just say, yeah, let's do this. Versus having a bunch of questions. So my thought process on this is, as you're having sales conversations, as you're talking to your leads, take a list of all the common questions that always pop up and find a way to weave those into your conversation throughout so that you don't have any objections at the end of it. That's
a great one, Jess. I heard the same thing from Harvey McKay. He has a top 25 list of questions that when he's sitting down with you for the first time, he weaves these questions into the conversation, and he finds out everything he needs to know about you to provide a quote or, to move to the next step. But I like the one of handling the objections. I think we'll work on that. We'll find a couple common objections, and we can work on that, Jesse. Going back to the Yankees, the Blue Jays beat them the first game. The Yankees are #1 in their division, so everybody's trying to beat them. And the Blue Jays beat them in the first game, but they lost the next 2 games. And each morning they would come out at around 10 o'clock and do a practice. But the night after they lost to the Yankees for the second time, they made a couple just basic bobblehead plays, things that junior players practice every day. They were out at 8 o'clock the next morning, and you could hear the coach screaming at them. They had them out at 8 o'clock. These are millionaire athletes. Drag them out of bed, get them onto the field, and they were practicing for 2 hours basic plays. It'd be like William Shakespeare, or not William Shakespeare, that's too old, but J.K. Rowling sitting down and practicing typing, doing typing skills. That's the best analogy I can make. And it was interesting to watch because I played baseball at a younger age, and these are all basic plays that we used to practice. So the coach had them going back to basics, right? And I believe that fired them up for the next. They won the next 4 games now, and they only have 2 games left, but they've secured their home field advantage for the playoffs. They've made the playoffs first time since 2020. So going back to basics is another little tip. Jesse's tip there, handling objections, and weave the questions you need to make the sales pitch or the close into your presentation or your conversation.
I think going back to the basics is, I mean, I know I've done it in business a few times now too, where I have gotten to a point where I've overcomplicated my processes and automated too much, and then all of a sudden things aren't working and I'm not getting as many leads through the door and calendar bookings and things like that. So then it's just, let's go back to the basics. I don't know how many times I've had to just revise everything and go back to the basics. And usually it works.
That's what we have to do, even as professionals. So that's it. Week number 39, next week 40, and then there's 12 left for the year because 52 weeks, 52 webinars. We do 2 the last week, and we always have Santa Claus on. That's something I look forward to going into the fall season. So if there's no more questions, I think that's a wrap for week 39.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. If you got your questions, pop them in there. If you get them in before we round it out, before the end of the music, we'll get those answered offline. But until week number 40, wish everybody a great week.
Yeah, everyone have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next week.